Wij hadden nog 1 kamer te doorzoeken nadat wij hier de vogelkamer van Penelope hadden bekeken. Dat betekent dat we naar de laatste kamer gaan, hier waar de professor is met een dak op zijn hoofd.
Geen boek, maar een dak op zijn hoofd blijkt te hebben. Ja. Hallo.
Wat kun je ons vertellen?
Shh, listen. Do you hear them? The stars. They're whispering. So quiet and yet so loud.
What are they whispering
De
about?
sterren praten
Are
met
they
hem.
spreading rumors about us?
I shouldn't think they concern themselves with such insignificance. We are but specks of dust, you and I.
Could this speck of dust start by telling me his name?
You find yourself standing in the astronomy tower of one Professor Percival Pointer.
Seems like this tower belongs to the Pointers, and the other one belongs to the Fellows.
Well observed, my dear. Tangle Tower is something of a duality, as it happens. Meaningless boundaries, really. They exist only in our minds.
Helpful.
Hij is een bijzondere professor.
Me? Not much to say. Strictly speaking, I'm the current head of the Pointer family. And of course, father to my precious Poppy.
And a professional astronomer?
Oh no, that's just a little hobby. I mean, yes, I've studied the stars for over 35 years, published
Hij is niet
17
professioneel.
books.
Just a little hobby.
Sounds like you're quite well known. You must bring in a good amount of money.
Oh dear me, no. My field of research has never yielded any kind of stable financial return.
Natuurlijk.
Nor would I expect it to. I am nothing but a humble interpreter for the cosmos, working to translate its message so that I may share it with the world.
Cool. Tell the cosmos I say hi.
Oké.
The day began as any other, with blissful, unremarkable routine. I took my usual morning walk around the gardens. Fresh air does wonders for the mind.
Did you see anyone else?
Penelope and Fitz were in the greenhouse together. I didn't bother them, of course. I sat for a while besides the pond in the garden. It's a favorite spot of mine. Eventually,
weet
I
hij misschien
returned
iets
to
over
my
dat
tower
beeld met die
and
haar.
buried myself in my studies for the afternoon.
Did you use your telescope yesterday?
Once the stars began to appear, naturally.
For how long?
I can't say. I've been known to lose hours at my telescope.
Did you see anything?
No actual discoveries, if that's what you mean.
So you were all alone up in the astronomy tower. Must have been a while before you found out what had happened to Freya.
Quite.
Hij was het eerst in die
I would be
kamer,
the
toch?
last to find out about such a
Hij
thing.
liep
Iemand
echt.
heeft dat
A
gezegd.
curious
hè?
tug of fate led me towards the fellow tower later that evening.
A tug of fate. Geef me een statement.
I was at my telescope for the majority of the evening, but at one point I returned to my desk to look something up in a reference book. I couldn't
Hij
find the
kan
book I
vanuit de
wanted,
telescoop
so I
die
figured
kamer
Fiona
van
must
Freya
have
zien.
borrowed it. I left my tower and headed down towards the grand hall. I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library. She
Zij
looked
zei dat
impatient
volgens mij.
and slightly frustrated.
Same as ever then?
Quite. I passed her by and went upstairs to Fiona's room. The door was locked, but I could hear shouting coming from inside. I recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
Oh ja, die
I
hadden
had
ruzie
no
over dat
desire to
dagboek.
invade their
Yeah.
privacy by eavesdropping, so I waited for them to finish and come out into the hall. Before I could ask about the book, Poppy grabbed my hand and took me upstairs along with Fiona. It was apparent that both of them had already been crying about something. We went up to Flora's tower. Freya was laying on her back, right in the middle of the room. Flora and Fitz were already there. They both looked stoic as ever. Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did, and then Fiona went downstairs with Poppy for some reason.
Die gingen
I
dat bloed
quickly
onderzoeken.
decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
Why did you leave so quickly? Wasn't there anything you could have done to help?
Don't take this the wrong way, but the whole ordeal is fellow family business. I'm quite sure they don't need me getting in the way at a time like that.
Oké. Vragen stellen over alles wat we weten.
Ja.
A listless soul drifting through the ether.
What's wrong with her?
Not sure. She's always been troubled. Comes from a dysfunctional family. I'd say you could ask her about it, but I think you might find that to be a bit of a dead end.
Ja, ze praat niet.
He should learn to make the most of his lot in life. And he does have a lot in life.
You're talking about money?
Among other things, but yes, he currently has agency over a small fortune. That is,
that
if
so?
he hasn't already squandered it or lost it.
You two don't get on?
Oh no, we're the best of friends. Ah, yes, the heiress of Tangle Tower. Goodness knows what'll happen when she takes charge. I dare say she'll confiscate my telescope and replace it with a microscope.
She doesn't seem to be the type to
Dat
impress
hadden we
the
ook
will
gevonden, die
of others.
microscoop.
Ja.
Still, keep an eye on her. Dangerously intelligent, that one.
You sound jealous. Wait, are you two science rivals?
Oh no, we operate on very different wavelengths. Literally. Hard to read, that one, but she seems to know what she's doing.
She's kind of mean.
You know, I
had
simply
haar
assumed
ingehuurd,
all
toch?
detectives were sharp, rigorous,
Wist je
and
dat
thorough.
als ik?
Nee,
Then, of course, I met you.
hij zegt er niks over.
Nobody could deny her talent. She was remarkable, artistically gifted, but also highly intelligent.
Those two things aren't mutually exclusive, you know.
Was she ever interested in astronomy?
I don't think she was. The fault may well lie with me for failing to inspire her. But I think she was captivated by more tangible things here on Earth. My daughter loved her. Fiona, too. That said, in the last year or so, more and more I begun to notice her by herself, wandering the gardens at the most peculiar hours. She must have explored every inch of the grounds 100 times over. Quite a restless
bijzonder.
spirit, I think. I'm surprised she chose to live at Tangle Tower as long as she did.
Chose. Kun je even kiezen?
What do you want me to say? He's the gardener.
He's a member of the family.
Yeah, but not the Pointer family.
What happened to his parents, do you know?
His father, Flint, is Felix's brother. Strange man. Don't think anybody knows what happened to him, but he certainly doesn't live here anymore.
What about his mother?
Emily? I've not met her. She never actually married into the fellow family. Her relationship with Flint was, it was short-lived.
Oké.
I don't especially want to talk about myself. Introspection often leads to vanity.
Wait, does it?
Why don't we discuss the moons of Jupiter instead?
I'm not sure if we have time. Aren't there like 10 of them?
83.
Yeah, we don't have time.
Ah, Penelope, our
Dat is zijn
resident
vrouw, toch?
ornithologist.
Penny's your niece, is that right?
At this
Nichtje.
moment in time. Until she marries the
Oh,
Oh
dat,
ja, dat is die
She'll
vrouw met
still
die
be your
beurt,
niece.
beurt op haar hoofd.
But she'll depart from the world of the Pointers and join the Fellows. Like rats deserting a sinking ship. My Poppy, my pride and joy. Exceptionally talented pianist from a young age. She... Hold on. Why is she on your list of suspects?
Because she's a suspect.
Duh.
Oh no, I
Yeah.
can personally vouch for her innocence. She'd never... Well, the truth is, she loved Freya very dearly.
If you don't mind me asking, what happened to Poppy's mother?
Primrose? She
Primrose.
was Flora's sister, a Remington by birth. The playing field has never really been even since she left.
Where did she go?
Away. She went away.
Oké, de items langs.
So which one is Tangle Tower?
What's that?
There are two towers, right? Flora's tower and your astronomy tower.
Neither? Truly, I have no idea. You'd have to ask Flora.
She named the house?
The whole thing is a result of her squabbling with her
Ja, want
family.
Flora praat niet, dus hebben we
Ja,
niet
dat is
zoveel
een
aan.
beetje
Her
lastig.
husband?
No, her brother and sister, and her father. The Remington family was a rather tumultuous little unit, you see. I don't think Flora has spoken with any of them in over a decade. Not exactly a wealth of information, is it?
It's enough.
A very old statue indeed. I'd recommend you leave it well alone. The poor fellow's in bad enough shape as it is.
Oké.
Isn't the process of decay fascinating?
It's not really decaying. It's plastic.
It's becoming one with nature, all the same. Where on earth did you find that?
It was in a bush outside. I think someone threw it away.
How peculiar.
Stond er ook weer in de brief.
Ja,
Here's
dat
a
weet ik
thought.
niet meer.
Do you suppose the paintbrush could be the murder weapon? After all, it was found at the scene, right next to Freya's body.
I guess it's possible.
I find that painting to be in rather bad taste.
Oh, yeah?
The knife with real blood on it? The whole thing is rather
Yeah.
vulgar. Pointer property originally, purloined by the fellows. Typical.
Oké.
I haven't seen that tape for a long time. Who broke it?
No idea.
Ah, well, possessions are fleeting, my friends. Is this important?
Possibly.
Curious
I
little
just
thing,
think so.
isn't it? Do you know what she keeps in there?
Nothing. At the moment. It was empty when we opened it.
How bizarre.
Can't a woman keep an empty egg in her room?
This looks a little
Okay.
rushed, even by Felix's standards.
At least he tried.
Yes, I suppose it's good for the old fellow to have a hobby. Keeps his mind from decaying, you know. This is supposed to be Felix, is it?
I think so.
I see he's afforded himself considerable artistic license.
Hij als
These
strijder.
were drawn by Freya. She must have drawn that one of Hawkshaw rather recently.
I guess.
Poppy's two closest friends. Freya looks so innocent there.
Oké.
Freya was well acquainted with the abstract, I'll say that much.
What does it look like to you?
To me, it's a big, red thing.
Ding.
What a fascinating
Ik denk nog
interpretation.
steeds dat het
Ja.
die cape zou kunnen zijn van die vrouw.
It is a big
Ja,
red
dat
thing.
weet ik zeg, ja.
That's a very old book, isn't it? Looks like someone could have taken better care of it.
I like the look of a well-read book. Better than one that's never been opened.
Ah, well put. Yes, very nice. Where is that bird of Flora's? It's been a while since I've seen it.
Hij weet iets over die vogel.
A diary can be a wonderful outlet for an
Maar hij heeft
outpouring of
gekeken door
one's
zijn
soul.
Kijk.
How do you know it's a diary?
Ik denk dat wij zo meteen door die telescoop gaan kijken en zien dat we dan die kamer kunnen zien.
Ja.
What's this?
It looks like it might be a telescope. Thought you might know something about it.
Well, it certainly is a telescope. It has a part there to screw onto a tripod, you see. It's rather small, though. I'm not sure you could see many stars with it.
No, probably not.
Maar wel andere dingen.
Ja.
Fitz seems rather keen to grow things like this in his greenhouse, doesn't he?
What's wrong with that?
Well, you can't eat it. Makes you wonder why he bothers at all.
Ja, dat vragen we ook af.
Oh, you found a murder weapon?
Steady on. It's just a gardening trowel.
Looks like a weapon to me.
Het is ook heel schoon.
Curious creature, isn't it? Some sort of amphibious bipedal fishman.
Playing a trumpet.
Playing a trumpet, yes. That's rather a small cage for three
Hebben die
birds, isn't it?
trompet
But then,
niet
aren't
gehoord.
we all
Nee,
trapped
die
in a
andere dingen
cage?
allemaal wel.
Ja.
Well now, that is most definitely none of my business. Quite possibly none of yours either.
Nou, wij zijn detectives.
What kind of flower is that?
We're not sure. I think it might be the only one of its kind.
Primrose would know. My wife was a floriculturalist. Best in the field. That's a
Floriculturalist.
flower joke, but she was.
Interesting.
Oké, dan hebben we alles gehad. Hij heeft een ingeving.
That's all the statements.
Let's go over them all.
Oké. We hebben nu iedereen ondervraagd.
Ja. Wat?
Ja, we hebben iedereen ondervraagd. statements.
That's all the statements collected. Let's run through them all to see if anything doesn't add up.
To see if anyone's been lying.
That too.
Fitz and I were up in the moonlight garden most of the afternoon. Then we heard this sound. It lasted about 3 seconds.
We thought it was coming from Flora's tower, so we went up there.
Her door was locked. Nobody was answering. So I made Fitz kick down the door.
Poppy and I went in. Freya was right there, laying on her back.
I left my tower and headed down towards the Grand Hall.
But in the hall, I spotted Uncle Pointer heading down the stairs. I vacated the library, but before I could begin my ascent, Professor Pointer appeared.
I didn't know what to do. So I ran downstairs to get Fifi.
I heard someone heading down the stairs. They're just outside my room.
Someone began banging on the door. I ignored it until the someone began shouting at me.
Eventually she let me in.
I spotted Detective Hawkshaw coming out of the library.
Tot nu toe
He
klopt het nog.
emerged from the Pointer staircase, crossed the hall, and begun up the fellow staircase. As I was passing through the front door, Penelope called out from behind me. I inquired about the professor, and she told me he'd gone up the fellow tower.
I told her what had happened. She didn't believe me. She got angry.
I thought she was playing a trick on me, so I punched her in
Ja,
the
en hij
face.
hoorde
I
geschreeuw.
recognized Fiona's voice as well as the voice of my own daughter.
We left the room, and Poppy's father was waiting outside. He followed us upstairs.
I ran up the stairs, hoping to catch up with him, but Felix appeared and blocked my path.
Back in the hallway, I bumped into a very concerned-looking Penelope. She was heading up Fellow Tower to find Professor Pointer. So I escorted her.
Poppy left the room for a while. When she came back, she had her father with her, and Fifi too.
Felix and Penny arrived shortly after we did.
A moment later, we were gazing down on the body of poor Freya.
Then I took a sample of the red paint on the unfinished painting.
She took me down to the library. We were in there about 15 minutes.
I quickly decided that I should leave also. I took Penelope with me, and we both went back to our rooms in Pointer Tower.
I wanted to go back to my room, but I realized nobody had told Detective Hawkshaw anything.
An unremarkable hour passed before the gardener finally made his appearance.
I think she was annoyed about being made to wait outside so long. But when I told her about Freya, she fell silent.
That's disappointing.
What is?
All the statements line up with each other.
Ja.
They don't just line up. Some of them even seem to specifically confirm each other.
Ze zijn allemaal verdacht met elkaar, is dat het?
Dus dat de plot is.
Ik kan daarop klikken, maar dat gaan we even apart doen dan, in een aparte video.
Ja.
Want we hebben nu dus alle statements genomen, alle statements gehoord. En de gedachte is nu dat alles klopt.
Ja,
Maar wij gaan een onderzoek doen.
dat gaan wij.
En dat doen we in de volgende video.
Is goed.
Joejoe!